Hey Doc.
Yes.
What is the number one health concern for men today?
I think it's actually no different than women. I actually think it's sleep. I believe that men have disrupted sleep, don't sleep long enough. They actually wake up in the middle of the night too much. So I think the fact that they have bad sleep contributes to so many things, including low testosterone. You can't really have good hormones without having good sleep, both men and women. Just that men, it affects them significantly. And then I believe that men's second biggest issue next to sleep is some digestive issue, because they eat a lot worse than women do, just by nature in general. I'm speaking, in generalities that way. But so if we really focus on man's sleep, people realize when you sleep good, you actually have less hunger too. So therefore, a man won't overeat and can keep his calories down too.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Why is the gallbladder important?
I think the most important thing we gotta know about the gallbladder is I think they mischaracterize it, because a lot of people call it a storage unit for bile, which I totally agree that it has a function of doing that. But I think what happens is I think we have to really go back to some of the things that are so most important in the gallbladder. Is it's actually a very big sensory organ. Now you say, Doc, what do you mean it's sensory? Well, it has a lot of nerve endings because it has to sense when fat is coming from the stomach into the small intestine, so now it can release bile. And without bile, you're going to have a harder chance of actually breaking down and having fat soluble vitamins move into the digestive tract and for absorption. So therefore, it's important to understand that the gallbladder is so important because it's a sensory organ that allows you to just take your fat soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K. If you're deficient in those, there's a whole host of problems that are significant. So if we look at it more like a sensory organ, and to know when that there's fats within the system, I think that you're going to see a big importance that we miss so much in giving people the advice that they can live just fine without their gallbladder.
Okay, thank you.
Does intermittent fasting increase gallbladder sludge?
No, actually, I think we do the totally opposite, because with the calorie reduction, and as long as you keep calorie reduction in intermittent fasting, there's going to be less consumption of foods, especially sugars. So therefore, what's going to happen is you're going to actually have glycogen stores get out of the liver. You're going to have things move through the liver better, metabolism of breakdowns of things moved out better. There's going to be better bile release, and therefore, guess what happens? I think that you're going to end up in a better state. Now, if you intermittent fast and still do extreme amount of calories, it doesn't matter if you intermittent fast, because you're still going to excessively do things, put stress on the liver, put stress on more to store fat, and therefore, once again, it's going to be a problem. So intermittent fasting does really well if you keep your calorie intake low.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is saw palmetto okay for males, or does it lower sex drive?
I can't correlate it with lowering sex drive. If anything, it's going to probably have a positive benefit on your sex drive, due to the fact that saw palmetto has certain constituents in that have been shown to help men significantly with BPH, benign prostatic hypertrophy, which is swelling of the prostate. And you understand the vast majority of men over 40 years old have a swollen prostate, the vast majority. And so therefore, what I want people to do is do the things that are going to help you change some of the biochemical things that happen. For example, saw palmetto does a really good job of being a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor. Just look that up. It inhibits some of the conversion from testosterone to DHT. Testosterone, as you guys know, is very important. So is DHT, but sometimes levels get too high, and they'll start seeing some problems with it. So therefore, when you look at things going on, saw palmetto has been a very effective and very well-studied herb to have some benefits, but not always see in men, majority, but also women.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is flossing really necessary?
I personally think it is, just because, especially when you're a kid, because you don't chew your food as much. But what you want to do is this: food can get stuck in other places, and therefore, by flossing, you're going to pull some out, because then if you don't, you're going to have food basically rotting and bacteria growing on there, which, once again, remember, it's not sugar that causes tooth decay. It's actually bacteria that cause tooth decay, and therefore what ends up happening now is you end up having some food stuck in there, and guess what? Now you're left with bacterial overgrowth, and it can go a lot of problems. So you definitely want to have some factors of actually flossing to make sure that you have nothing in your teeth where brushing can't get at.
Okay, thank you. Why do I have bad breath?
Well, the most common thing is bacterial overgrowth. Now, a lot of people think it's some in the oral cavity. You can find out that the vast majority of people that do have bad breath actually have bad stomach. So therefore, that's why acidifying the stomach, maybe by taking some betaine hydrochloride, make sure to take some acid vinegar, you're going to notice that there's better digestive process happening in the stomach. There's going to be a controlled microbial factor, and therefore your breath has changed. Now, can you have an overgrowth in your mouth? Yeah, people that usually have chronic tooth decays can actually have some bad breath because of, once again, bacterial overgrowth, dead microbials, doesn't smell too good, doesn't taste too good. So therefore, make sure that you have good oral health, good stomach health, and that will change your breath.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
What are some best practices to build muscle?
Resistance training, by far number one. Number two, make sure you eat enough protein. Number three, make sure your hormones are good. Number four, sleep. I think that if you do those things, you're gonna not only keep a muscle healthy, you can actually continue its growth and repair. So therefore, I would actually focus on those factors. And young men should be taught from their young to their old, because you do not want to lose muscle mass. You don't want to have sarcopenia as you get older. So therefore, those four things have a really good impact on your muscles.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hey everyone, for unedited, full-length, unapologetic content, go to my website, drpatrickflynn.com. Hit the subscribe button to join our community for more amazing content like this every day.